Hello everyone, my name is Edward, and this is my video for the virtual debate response assignment. My topic was whether or not the US should continue to stay or remain in the Middle East. And I went with the pro side of yes, the US should continue to remain in the Middle East. And so for my response, obviously I'm still going to be on the pro side, but I will be responding to some points made by other students on the con side of they believe that the U.S. should not continue to be in the Middle East. So the first thing I believe that I saw was that it's not worth it to be in the Middle East. It's not worth it to continue because even if we win, though we do win, we won't gain anything. And I think at this point, it's not so much about gaining anything, as in we're not, winning anything of material value. Um, it is more so about stabilizing and keeping the peace in the area. I think that's definitely very vital, right? The United States, aside from oil, isn't looking for other resources or diplomatic, I guess, policies or relationships in the Middle East, more so to make sure that the problems that they originally caused can be resolved. Number two, it's a that people should prefer a political solution rather than imperial oppression. I do not believe that this is the United States being in the Middle East is oppression. That's a very strong word. I think it is a militaristic voice, even. It's a militaristic presence in the Middle East to contain future and current harms. It's not using the United States military to change policy and to change diplomatic ties in the Middle East. It's to defeat ISIS and maintain order in the area. Um, another item was that oil is in the Middle East, and right, that is a motivation. That has to be a motivation. We went there for oil, and people, even though people say that it sounds like a money grab, that's the reason why we're in the Middle East. Well, it currently is. It's currently the primary source of our energy in the entire world, and until we come up with alternate energy, the United States must have. A presence in the area where where oil and natural gas is produced like at the most. Otherwise, we will be taken over by resources such as or countries such as China and Russia, who will instantly fill the gap that we have left. And the price of oil and the price of gas will obviously automatically shoot up because our own production, our own primary production, does not match that of the Middle East. Um, I thought there was a really interesting point about the fact that ISIS does not hold a greater threat because they have 30,000 disorganized troops. That was really interesting because I definitely agree that ISIS is a very formidable fighting force, as in like they cannot on a straight battleground they cannot match forces with the United States. But the point is that they are a terrorism force. They are not a war fighting force. So what they do is they can have one or two, literally even one or two people go into Europe, the United States, and drop a bomb, and it'll cause mass mayhem and mass destruction all over the place. And that is the concern of ISIS. It's not the fact that they can, take over a country. It's the fact that they can cause serious damage with having very little people. And the United States needs to be able to counteract that and fight that and eliminate that crisis over there. And so that's very important. Um, the last thing is that you can't inject democracy through a barrel of a gun. Barack Obama even actually said that this is a dumb war. The Iraq War was a dumb war. But I want to note that Barack Obama did not pull the troops out of the Middle East for the very reasons that we have all talked about today. Because the United States must have a presence in the Middle East, despite what Obama thinks is or wants or desires in a a perfect world, because he understands that the world is not perfect, that there's a need for the United States to remain in the Middle East to continue fighting this battle and to continue reprimanding and recovering from the problems that they've caused. So in summary, I agree that the United States has caused a lot of issues while being in the Middle East, while being a presence there, but because they've caused those issues, they must continue to clean up the mess that they created. Otherwise, that you will create a power gap, power vacuum that will cause even more problems. And so it's important for the United States to remain